I think you should be able to see my screen. Okay, good. So all of you have joined, right? So very good. So I could see everyone has joined. Very good. So and again, still few of them are yet to join. It's fine. See, those people are already. I'm having issues connecting through command prompt, right? No, you should be having it, right, Jamal? See, you just go here. What you do is MySQL
I did
command.
it. I am going through command. I did MySQL, then space root minus p, and I entered the password
No,
upon
no, no, no,
enter.
no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Look here. Look here. You have installed MySQL, right? Go to the start button. MySQL.
Yes.
See, for that you need to set the environment variable, which I will tell you later. Okay, because you joined little late, right?
Yes.
Others, I fixed that issue. You just type MySQL in the here start button. Can you see this one?
Yes. Yes. Local
You
host.
just click this one. It will prompt you for password.
Yes.
Admin. You have given admin, right? Or whatever you have given, you just give it here. It will take you here.
But I think now it is working. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. I think it's working now.
Yeah. So if you type it from the command line, right? DOS or DOS command line, it will throw some error because you need to do some settings in the thing. That we will discuss it later. Okay.
Okay.
I guess others, Murali, hope you installed it. You are able to connect it right now because you are going to work side by side along with me now. Okay, that's the reason I'm saying.
Okay.
You're done, right, with this? Fine, fine. So what we are going to do is, I just share my Power BI thing, right? This is the GitHub link, and here this is what I told you all to start on today. Again, right, we will continue with the basic stuffs, and those of you who are already familiar with these SQL queries, no problem, you can just watch it. Right, most likely we'll start the intermediate when it comes to complexity level, intermediate level we'll start work on it today. And right, so intermediate, and if possible we'll continue with the complex part also, and tomorrow we'll continue with the more complex part also. Okay, so today I will just for the sake of beginners, lab01.sql, can you all open this one? Go here and you can open it. I just share the link in the chat window. Okay, you go to this one, github.com Power BI, because if you leave gap, right, for beginners you will tend to forget everything. First you select this one, all of you, right? Please select this one and copy, and then you paste it here. For example, I'm going to create, MySQL, what you do, right? Once you go here, type show databases. It will show you what are all the databases that you have it in your thing. Okay, and next what you do is you create a database, and let's say employee, something like that. Create database EMP. Okay, create database EMP. Oh, Jamal, are you still facing the issue?
Yes.
No, why you are typing CMD command? Oh, the command line got closed. This one?
Yes.
No, you just go here. It will not close. Okay, I think something else, some other problem. Can you see this one? MySQL 8.0 command line client.
Yes. I can see. I will.
Just click this. No, just click this one. That's all. Hey, I request you all, okay, in case you have any hiccups with installation or configuration, please ping me during our daytime, okay, or at least 2 hours before the training program, so that we will fix it. Because just because one or two people issue, right, let us not waste others time, because others have already installed it and tested it. Okay, I would Jamal, can you tell me now, are you getting this one or not?
This is coming, so I need to enter my password.
Yeah, if you enter wrong password, it will come out. You understood, right? I think you forgot your password. If you had forgot your password, please, you have to reinstall, uninstall everything, reinstall it.
Okay.
That is the reason why even in my video, right, I told you, please make sure that you are using the admin password.
It's okay.
It is closing it because you did not enter the correct password. You forgot the password, right?
Yeah, right. Now I entered the right password and it's acting now.
Is it connecting?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay. So now what you do is, you just okay, I'll just in the interest of you, I'll just show you. Or if you are not able to log in, you tell me, okay, we will fix it after the training program, okay, or just you watch the video now, okay. And okay, what you do is, Jamal, in the interest of you, I am just starting fresh, okay. You are able to log in, right? Can you tell me what version you see it there?
Video, sir.
Yeah, video, right? Sorry about that. Yeah, video recording is in progress. No problem. Good that you reminded me. Okay, it is already in progress. The recording is in progress. Yes, Chaitra. Jamal, can you see? Tell me what version you see it there in your command line.
8.27.
8.0.27. Superb, right? It's very good. Okay, then you're all set, right? So you just type show databases, including Murali Arun Kumar, please type it in the chat window.
Yes, it's giving me a few databases which are available.
Excellent, right? So what you do is, you don't worry about that. You create new database. Create database EMP. Others, please bear with me. Okay, they because of some installation other issue, right? They are falling behind.
Okay, it says one row affected.
Very good. So now again type show databases semicolon, okay, followed by the semicolon is mandatory. Only then the MySQL engine can understand that you have finished typing the commands.
Okay. If I could see the new database created.
Excellent. You can see that EMP database, right? Very good. How about Murali Arun Kumar? Please confirm that one. And others also please confirm. And Shreyas, are you there? Yeah, Shreyas and Yashashwini, everyone is there, right? Asha, good. Mohan is missing today. Yeah, he is not in station, it seems. Okay, no problem. So okay, you are done with this one. So now what we do is, Jamal and others, okay, now we wanted to log into EMP database. Okay, so you could see when you type show databases, it shows a lot of databases, right? Lot of databases. Fine, but I wanted to create tables inside my EMP database. How can I do that? First you need to get into the EMP database. Use space EMP semicolon. All of you please type side by side with me. Create database EMP and use EMP. Now I am inside the EMP database. Got it? Now type show tables semicolon. What do you see there?
Empty set.
Yeah, nothing is there. There are no tables, right? Empty set means there are no tables are available. Now what we do is, inside this database EMP, we'll create tables. What tables? You go to this link. I just shared it in my chat window. Can you see the chat window? github.com fantasy 200k Power BI, right? I would suggest you all to join this meeting from your laptop, so that whatever script I share it, you just copy it and paste it in your MySQL window. Fine, what you do is, look here, I am going to copy this one, department table, I am going to create it first. And I am going to right click here. One second, I am going to, I did not copy it and right click it. Press enter. It takes some time. Yeah, table got created. Next, what I am going to do is, I just go up here. Here I could see, I just scroll down and then don't use the first EMP table. Okay, don't create with this. Scroll down and just copy it. I will tell you why we need to create this table later. Okay, first you need to create department table, second you need to create EMP table. Can you all confirm if you are able to create this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jamal, you are able to create. Murali also you are able to create it.
Yes, sir.
And Arun Kumar, how about Arun Kumar? I am yet to get the confirmation from Arun Kumar. Okay, and very good. So you're all able to create it, right? Created. Okay, fine. So especially the those people are completely new one to programming. Please don't postpone it. Okay, just because video is there, I will watch it later. Don't postpone it. Okay, please do it side by side, because there is a point in creating the tables now again, because we are going to work with queries. Okay. See, you must be asking experienced people, hey, why always employee department table? It is already there in the internet, and we studied during our college time, right? Fine, because it is always good when we start learning from with the smaller or simple data or simple table, right? Simple concept. When you start with the simple concept, and once you learn it, right, with that knowledge, you can build up by learning the advanced skill sets, right? We'll start with small and then let us grow gradually, right? We will increase the complexity gradually. So I guess Jamal and Murali and Arun, you all three created it, right? Very easy, copy paste, that's all.
I am getting error.
What error?
I have 1824 failed to open the reference table tab.
See, that's why first create department table. See, literally, guys, please follow literally. If I say department table, you create it first. Okay, import table, then blindly whatever I say, strictly go by that. Trial and error, we will do it later.
Okay, now it's done.
Yeah. Is that creating it?
Yes, very okay, 0 row suspected.
Very good. So show tables, type show tables. All of you please show tables. Right. So 2 tables got created.
Yes, 2 rows.
2 rows got created. Right. So in both the tables, department table and EMP table, if you see, we have something called primary key department number. See, we have primary keys in both the tables, but in this table the primary key is department number, and in the employee table the EMP number is the primary key. And you can see something else called department number as a foreign key here. Whatever is primary key in this table is a foreign key to this table. See, in the employee table also we are using department number. Look here, we have a column called department number. The emp number in this table is a primary key, and department number is the foreign key. Okay, because the department number values. Listen, please don't interrupt. Okay, no interruption. Okay, I will put you all in mute. Okay, 1 second. So that, right, there should not be any clutter in our talk. Okay, that is the reason why. It's not that if you have any question, you just type it in the chat room. I'll keep checking your type. But literally follow what I say. First, understand the concept thoroughly, and then you ask question. Okay. If you interrupt me for everything, right, it will be when you watch the video, it will be boring. Oh, fine. Okay. So that's the only intention. It's not that, right, I'm not interesting to hear you. Everybody is, I want to give importance to everyone here. Fine, I understood. So now you have created. So in the employee table, you have something called emp number. This is the primary key, and in the same table we have another column called depart number. So this department number column in this table also will have the values similar to this department table's depart number value here. You should not have different department number in employee table's depart number column. Whatever depart number value that you use it here, that one should be there in this table. Okay, is there any way I can automate this? For example, when you insert a value into employee table, there could be chances you might insert whichever department number you are comfortable with, or whichever you like it, you can do it, right? So alter command. Yeah, I'm not going to discuss about alter now. Okay, let us see this one. Yeah. So what I am doing is here department number, right? So in this case, what we did, we already created a constraint name. Okay, this is not mandatory, but still it is the best practice. Constraint is a reserved word, and you can give whatever name you wanted, but you give some meaningful name here. Okay. And again, when you join with the company, they will give you coding standard document. Already they must be having a coding standard, naming standard document. As per the naming standard, you need to create the constraint and table name, everything. Okay, and column name also, constraint name, and this is a reserved word. Okay, constraint, and foreign key is also a reserved word, foreign space key. Inside the parenthesis, I mentioned about depart number. That means in this employee table, the depart number column, right, it is a foreign key to this table. The depart number column is a foreign key to this table, right? So foreign key, depart number, and references we have given, right? In this table, employee table, the department number is a foreign key to this table. Foreign key means, the next question is, okay, that means from which table this department number has to be referenced, right? This department number should reference the department table's depart number. See, depart number, department. That is the syntax here. References, constraint, references, foreign key. These are all reserved word. You cannot give your own name, okay? That means, you have to strictly follow this. This is a syntax, okay? This one you can give whatever name, but here, whatever the depart number is there, right? Here you need to specify it here, or this one, depart number. This depart number references this table's depart number. Okay, this one should be, this column name, right? So depart number. See, this is a foreign key to this table. So if you say this is a foreign key to this employee table, then it references to. See, foreign key means it comes from other table, outside of this table. So the values for the depart number that comes from the outside of the employee table. That means which table? Department table. From the department table, there is a department. So from this table, the department number has to come here. Supposing I insert a department number in the employee table, which is not there in this department number, then automatically it will throw an error. That is also the another advantage of using the foreign key constraint. And another important advantage of using foreign key is if you wanted to combine the data from these two tables, right? So you need to create a relationship between these two, right? So with the common key column between these two tables only, you can join the tables. Don't worry, okay, we will work on the query, then you will understand. So the next step is you just go ahead and first insert the values into department. Right click, copy. All of you please do it side by side. So I want you guys to be a little bit proactive, right? Insert, you're done, right? So now what we do is, yes, Yashaswini, I'm recording it. Look here, the recording is going on. Okay, that's good. One way good. By keep reminding me, one way it is good, right? So there should not be any problem. Select star from depart. Look here, I inserted 4 values into the department table. 4 records. I want to check after inserting the 4 records. I want to check it whether these 4 records got inserted successfully into my department table. How do I do that? Select star from depart. Star is select all the rows and all columns. That is what it tells. Select star from depart. I think you're all with me, right? Have you all done this? Jamal, can you please type it in the chat window? Please confirm it. Yeah, Basura, Chaitra, you're all through. Okay. How about Jamal and Murali and Arun Kumar? Yeah. Shreyas, very good. Jamal, yes, successfully. Superb. And how about Murali? Murali, yes, very good. Murali and Arun Kumar. Arun Kumar has some problem with the system, not a problem. Once the system gets reboots, you start on. But I would strongly thanks Jamal. Awesome. Good. Select count or star from AMP and select count or star from depart. So using which we can make sure that how many number of records got inserted into employee table and department table. Guys, don't worry, we will work with the complex queries also. Okay, bear with me. We'll start once again from the basic thing. Are you all with me? Especially the freshers and people with non-IT background, please confirm me. Very good, Karthik. You said you are traveling good. You are keep working on it. Very good. Count a star from it meant Jamal. Are you through with this? No, told me not a problem. If you get stuck up, right? See, all I would suggest you is just select everything. Simply copy and go here. Paste it. That's all. Don't do anything. Jamal confirmed. Okay. How about count of is done? Excellent. Okay. And how about Murali? Okay, Murali also done. 14 and 4. Very good, right? So we have created 2 tables. One is a department table. Another one is a employee table. Always it is a best practice to check right how many number of records are there in a table and the structure of the table. Describe. See, actually the actual command is describe depart. Instead of typing, I'm a lazy guy, I don't want to type the entire name. You can type only the 4 letters, desk. Instead of typing the entire name describe, type just desk and space EMP semicolon, describe space depart semicolon. So this can give you display the structure of the tables. By seeing this, you will be able to understand. See, look, 8 rows in a set. 8. So what it says is, when you use describe, don't get confused. 8 rows is not number of records in a table, number of columns in this table. Okay, here 3 columns are there, here 8 columns are there, and the corresponding data type you can do. Obviously, salary is a decimal and commission is also decimal. Department number need not to be decimal, right? It should be a whole number. Anyhow, let it be there. We'll change it later. And manager is a decimal number in this case. Wherever you see manager is a manager number, employee number, it need not to be a decimal number, right? You need to convert this as an integer value, right? So that we will see it later. Okay, let it be there as of now. But anyhow, it is not a big deal. Let it be there. This is not a showstopper. For example, if you are doing a arithmetic operation on the let's say salary into 1000, if you want to multiply it, decimal is also will work and integer will also work. But if it is in varchar data type, when you multiply with some number value, it will throw an error. That is a showstopper. Since we don't have any showstopper, we will continue with this one. Anyhow, we'll show you how to convert this as a integer data type later. Fine. Okay. Now we have created, and this is how you can view the structure of the table. Fine. So how to check the number of records? This is how, and how to check the number of columns and what are the data types of each columns. And look here, the employee number. Along with this, you can see something like primary key. PRI stands for primary key. Ignore about these things at this moment. This is a primary key. Depart number MUL is there. That means this is a foreign key. Okay. For this, the depart number in this employee table is a foreign key. Right. And in this table, the depart number is a primary key. Look here, in the null column, we can see no. Right. So employee number should not have any null value. What do you mean by null value? Blank values. You are not supposed to leave any blank value or empty value. It should have value. And similarly, department number should also have a value in it. Here you cannot insert any null values. You cannot insert any null values. Okay. Now we will see what is a primary key is all about. What is a primary key is all about. So what is a primary key? Can someone tell me what is a primary key? Primary key is used to find out the records uniquely, right? So it will help you to find out the unique records in your table, primary key. And it should not have any null value in it. It should not have any null value in it. That is so those are the properties of your primary key, right? Those are the properties of your primary key. And no null values are present in column primary key. Listen very carefully. So it is a mandatory value. In the employee EMP number column should not have any null value or any blank value in it. It should have some value, and also it should be unique. Yeah, it should not have any redundant value, and it should be unique value. Right? Only one primary key you can create per table. Only one primary key is allowed to create per table. You cannot create multiple primary key. Okay. So no new row can be inserted with the already existing primary key. For example, look here. Select star from EMP. So already an employee, Smith, has an employee number 7369. We have already assigned this employee number to this guy. We cannot use or we cannot insert the same record once again into this table because the employee number column 7369 is already existing in this table. If you try to insert a redundant employee number, redundant in the sense if you try to duplicate the same record or same value here, it will throw an error. Right? So that is what it says. Simple primary key that has a single column. So in this case, we have a simple primary key. We have created a primary key only on the employee number table. Look here, where is my thing here? Look here in the employee table, in the EMP table, right? The primary key is EMP number. We have created a primary key on a single column. You can create more than one. You can create a primary key for more than one column also. That is called composite primary key. Okay. Baswaraj, you mentioned C depart. I don't know what you mean by C depart. What you are trying to say? I did not get no duplicate. Okay. Yeah. So okay. In this case, right, composite primary key has a multiple. You can have more than one column. See, in our case, we have created employee number. So is it possible for me to combine? Can I have more than one column as a primary key? Yes, it is possible. You can have. Okay, you mean to say what point you are trying to make, Baswaraj? You mean to say we can have employee number, depart number as a composite primary key? Is that what you are saying? No, sir, by mistake. Oh, okay. You mistakenly typed, right? Okay. So now you understood. Anyhow, don't worry about this one. At this moment, you just concentrate on this. This one I will show you, with other examples. We have a lot of examples for this. Okay, fine. And defined and create table, alter table statement. Forget about alter table. We'll see it later. Create table. See, as part of the create table, we use primary key EMP number. So those of you just now started your laptop, right? Start work on this one. Yeah, the classic example SSN, very good. Yashashwani has given a good example. You can have a primary key on, supposing you have employee number, comma SSN number or Aadhaar number, right? So you can create a primary key based on these two columns, employee number, comma SSN number, or employee number, comma Aadhaar number. Now you tell me why we need to have a primary key. Is it mandatory? Is it mandatory? Yes, it is mandatory. To uniquely find out a record in a table, primary key is very much important. Primary key is very much important. Okay? If you don't have a primary key, what will happen is you will have a redundant values in your table. The number one problem is you will have duplicate values. For example, your employee number is 1002. Let's say Rajesh. Okay? And you are creating another employee ID for the you are creating another employee ID for Mahesh, right? So how will you find out? Okay, another example, 100. Let's say in my company I have another Rajesh is there. Two guys have the same name. How will you find out? How will you find out who is who, right? Both, let's say first name, last name, both are there or same, right? So let's say Rajesh Kumar. Another guy name is also Rajesh Kumar, right? So if you have a unique key, right? So let's say this guy name is also Rajesh Kumar and this guy name is also Rajesh Kumar, right? But this guy, this guy is also working in the accounts department. This guy is also working in the account department. Both of them are freshers. You might be saying, right? Okay, both people name might be same, but their experience level will be different, or they are they belong to different department. No, they both of them belong to same department, and both of them belong to same department, and both of them having 3-year experience only. Okay, and they are all, both of them are clerical role. How will you find out? Let's every once in 6 months appraisal review happens, and we need to give a salary hike or promotion to one guy of these, because of these two, one guy performed very well. But since you are using the primary key for both, right, the same number, what will happen is mistakenly both people will get promotion. This is one simple example. Okay, so primary key is very much important. So this guy, this Rajesh Kumar is different from this Rajesh Kumar. To distinguish from one person to another person, we use primary key. And we have something called surrogate key. That and all, surrogate key, alternate key, a lot of terms are there. Okay, don't get confused with so many things. Let's go step by step. And we have something called unique key. Unique key. Okay, so many keys are there. Let us not worry about it at this moment. Now try to understand. With the help of the primary key, we are able to uniquely identify an instance in a table or record in a table. For that purpose, we are using primary key. Fine. So it should not have any null values. You should not have any null values. That is one. It's a mandatory. Okay. It should not have any. First of all, once you define a primary key while creating the table, or after you create the table, when you use alter table and assign the primary key, right? You cannot insert any null values or blank values. It should have some value. What is a foreign key? Foreign key constraint. So we have seen, we have created a department table. Right? In the department table is a parent table for that table. Oh, sorry, depart number is the parent key for the department table. The child may have duplicates and nulls. Look here. I will just go here. So I will just select department number. Select start from depart. The depart table, how many values are there? 10, 20, 30, 40. Since the depart number is a primary key in this department table, we have all unique values. We don't have the duplicate values. Very good. So everything is good. And now the same depart number in this employee table is a foreign key. right? For this table, this is the foreign key. Foreign key means this values are referencing this, and whatever value is there here, that is the one should be there. But here you can have redundant values, more than one value you can have it. More than one value you can have it. For example, 7369, the employee number, he works in the depart number 20, research department, right? So 20 and 20. So you must be wondering, why can't I have all these things in a single table? Why should I have two different tables? Right? This is called normalized tables. This is called normalized tables. We don't want to have everything in a single table. You just imagine, if I have the D name here, depart name. So for the 10 is accounting, 20 is research. Here you will have research, and again research, and other 20 is that this is a research. The department name for this one is research. Multiple time research will be displayed here. Accounting, operations. This one will consume space unnecessarily in the disk or disk. Hence, what they did in the past, right? They came up with some rules. They came up with something called normalization to avoid redundancy, or reduce the duplicate values, or right, to save space. What they did, they came up with the RDBMS concept. This one, the data model. Okay, data model design. Okay, so here what they did, right? So here whatever value is there, it can repeat here. But let's say if you put something 50 here, the depart number mistakenly, right, and which is not there here, right, then it will throw an error, because as part of the table definition itself, we mentioned the employee table depart number column reference to depart numbers, depart num values. If you put any other value in the depart number column of your employee table, it will throw an error. For example, I will show you that one also. Please concentrate here. Don't get distracted, especially the non-programmers, even for a second. Okay. For example, okay, here I am going to create something like 8,000. This number is not there in my. Here I am going to put something 60. Can you guys tell me, this is the depart number, okay? The last column is the depart number. Can you see 60 in this table? Depart number column. Does this depart number column as 60 in this department table? No, right? If I insert a record in the employee table with a different depart number which is not there in this table, it will throw an error. Look here. Cannot or update a child row, a foreign key constraint fails, because the value 60 is not there in this table. This is how we make sure that there is some amount of consistency. There is some amount of consistency. If you put 60 here, what will happen is, when you join this table, there is nothing. If you allow this to get inserted, what will happen? End of the day, you join these two tables to get the department name. Why should I join the table? Supposing your manager asks you to write a query. Select, I want to know the employee number, and then their corresponding depart name, the name. Right? I want to know, and also the salary. Right? So in that case, the department name is stored here. Right? By joining these two tables, common column depart number, you can do a lookup here. Hey, 20, right? So 20, you do a lookup here. Oh, 20 is here, and the corresponding department name is research. Right? So in that case, to know the department name of each employee, you need to join these two tables with the common column. What is the common column between these two tables? Depart number. Right? Depart number. The common column between these two tables is depart number. With this, you are supposed to join these two tables in order to get the department name. See here, all we need is employee name, department name, and the salary. So in our company, we wanted to know each employee and their corresponding department name, and then their salary. Okay, what you are going to do is start from emp as e comma depart is a table name as d. What is as d? It's alias name. Okay, somebody we say, right, some people's name will be very big name. Instead of saying big name, we say, hey Babu. Babu is a short name, right? Alias, somewhat, this is alias. Okay, so here what I'm going to use something called where condition. E dot depart number. What is the common column between these two tables, employee and depart number? Depart number, right? Depart number. So d dot depart number. Listen very carefully, don't get distracted. Okay, concentrate here. That's all. Look here, in a single query, I can display the department name for each employees along with their salary. But you tell me the department name is there in this table? No, right? How did I get the department number name? You take this value and we do a lookup here. Hey, 20 is there in this table? Yes, it is there. What is the department name? So research. What is the first guy name? Smith. Now we'll go and check manually. Smith is research department. Very good. It joined correctly. And also you can print the location also. If you want additional column, locate. So here what we did, we in the from class, in the select class, whichever column we needed, we just typed it. The from clause, this is a reserved word. We typed the table names, two table name. But what we did, along with the table name, we use the alias. Right? E. Instead of saying EMP, I say E. Instead of saying depart, I say D. Where I need to join these two tables because this depart number, this new depart number, whatever the matching values are, right? Based on the matching values, you select the values from this table and this table, right? It has to match that value and then fetch the department name from this one. You understood? Anyhow, we'll discuss about join little later. Don't worry, okay? Fine. So we are all set. So for that purpose also, foreign key is very much important. The foreign key is very much helpful in terms of establishing the relationship between two tables or more than two tables in order to perform join, operation. Got it? To join these two tables, we need to find out which columns are common between these two tables. These two are common, and importantly, the depart number is the foreign key here. With the help of the foreign key, we are joining with this parent table depart number. And how do we make sure that we are not going to have any orphan values or any nonsense values here, right? By creating the constraint, foreign key constraint, while you create this table, right? When you define the constraint here, we make sure that whatever the values that are there in your department table only should be allowed when you insert the data in employee tables, depart number column also, right? Fine. That is what I showed you with this example. Fine. Okay. The next one is we'll start work on the queries. Okay. So, okay. Still foreign keys. What are the? See, in this table, you can have redundant values, right? You can have the depart number values can be, you can have multiple times, or you can have more than one time the depart numbers can be repeated here because it is the foreign key. Child may have duplicates and nulls. Look here, you can also have null values, okay, and you can have duplicates here. In this case, this is the child table because for him the parent is this one. Right? You got it, right? So something, or you just literally, think, show you that. And parent record can be deleted if no child exists. What does it says here? In the department table, I can delete this record. How do I delete? Delete command. Delete from depart where depart number equal to 10. So this is how you can delete a record from a table. but here it is not allowing me to delete because the depart number 10 already used in this table. Had I not used this 10 here, then you can, this one will get deleted. Right? That is what it says. Parent record can be deleted if no child exists. But unfortunately here child exists. This one, right? The child already exists. 1010 is there. This is a child record, right? For him, child is there, hence we cannot remove him. Master table cannot be updated if child exists. Deletion is not possible. Similarly, you cannot update the master table, especially the whatever values you have, right, which is there in this one, you cannot update it. Okay, and must reference primary key in primary table. So this one must reference the primary key value in this table. And foreign key column and constraint column should have matching data types. Your data type should be same. For example, here I used decimal, here also decimal. Yes. Records cannot be inserted in child table if corresponding record in master table do not exist. That is what I showed you. Right? I inserted some, the depart number value 80. Right? That was not there in the child table. Sorry, the parent table depart. Right? So the parent table we have 10, 20, 30, 40 depart numbers. When I try to insert a new depart number in the child table, it was throwing an error. Records of master table cannot be deleted if corresponding records in child table exist. Got it? Records of master table cannot be deleted if corresponding records in child table. Oh, I think I repeated it. Foreign key column should have more. Okay, yeah, deletion, updation, not possible. Okay, here you cannot delete a record, especially those records depart number already is there, or update also not possible. Okay, but you can update this department with different values. Okay, provided that it should not be there. Okay, it's already referencing, right? You cannot do updation also, right? Because this depart number 10 is referencing here. So hope you understood the properties of primary key and foreign key. This is the fundamental thing. Okay, unique key constraint, as I told you, we each table you can create only one primary key. You can create a primary key on a single column, or you can create a primary key on more than one column also. But once you create a primary key, you cannot create additional primary keys. For example, employee number and Aadhaar number. With these two values, I can uniquely identify an employee in my company. Fine. But I wanted to have, apart from this, I want to have a unique key in my table. For example, employee name should not be empty. So okay, so what in that case you cannot create a primary key on employee name column. Instead, what you do is you create a unique value. Unique means it will not employee name also you cannot use unique. Let's say you have some other column, right? You should not have some blank values in it. So you can have blank values in it, especially when you create a unique key on a unique column. But you want to have some additional unique key. Okay, you can use it. Okay, it also identifies individual tuple uniquely in a relation table. A table can have more than one unique key, unlike primary key. You can have multiple unique keys on a table. Okay, you can have multiple unique on a table, and parent record can be deleted if no child exists. Okay, and unique key constraint can accept only one null value for column. Supposing you want to have a unique key constraint on a column, okay, and you cannot have duplicate values in that column, but you can have null values in it. In that case, you can go for unique key. And also, if you cannot create more than one primary key, then you can go for more than one primary key or unique key in a table, right? You can create more than one unique key. Fine. And unique key can also referenced by the foreign key. Yes, this is also possible. But only difference between primary key and unique key is, in the case of unique key, you can have null values. You can have a null value. Okay, that is the difference. Okay. And this is the difference between foreign key and primary key. Anyhow, I am not going to talk too much on this one. Okay, but this is the very fundamental thing, you should be knowing it. Okay, fine. Next, what we will do is, we will do subsetting the table data. We will, how do you select the first 5 records? How do you select the first 5 records in the employee table? Select star from EMP, limit, or 5 records, limit 5. I just wanted to see the top 5 records. If you press up arrow, you don't have to retype the same command. For example, I wanted to see the last 5 records. So 9, 14. Last 5 records. What does this 9, 14 tells us? Starting from the 9th record, look here. So what is the 9th record? So this is the 9th record, right? 9th record onwards, whatever is there, you print it. So what is 14? Total number of records. No, right? Start print the records after the 9th record to till 14th record. Right? So here 7844, 7844, 787, 7900, last 5 records, and this is how, right? Starting position to end position, you need to specify to get the last record. Okay, this is the first 5 record. All of you please type it and check it out. Anyhow guys, those of you are completely new one, don't worry, I will share some more I will share some more data, the PDF file, which will have the basics of the SQL queries related to employee and department table. Start with employee and department table. Slowly we will get into the complex part, but this is the right place to start. Okay, though it looks very academic, but anyhow it will be good. In employee table, phone number column can be unique. Very good. Employee number is not having phone, we can have null file. Correct. Supposing you wanted to have unique values for each employee, right? Basavaraj has given a good example. Phone number, right? Phone number is the unique value, right? Some people, they may not have phone number. Still it should allow null value, but the phone number should be unique. You cannot have duplicate phone number. Very good example, right? So thanks Basavaraj. And for example, I wanted to find out in this table, for example, okay, I wanted to find out, select ename, cell from EMP table, order by, I wanted to sort the data in descending order, right? Order by cell descending. Order by is nothing but sort. So descending order, I wanted to find out the top 5 employees salary. Okay, top 5 employees is the top 5 salaries drawn by the employees in my company. Okay, here I can put limit here, limit 5 also. Look here, these 5 employees are getting higher salary in my company. These 5 employees are getting higher salary in my company. Okay, and also we have a column called EMP, right? So we have something called hire date. We wanted to know, select star from EMP where hire date is less than some date, we can say. Okay, and for example 1 Jan 81, something like that. Okay, you have error in SQL syntax. Okay, here I did not use the parenthesis here when you incorrect date value. Okay, okay, here let us see, select hire date from EMP. Okay, so here this is US date format, year, month, date. Okay, you need to follow this one. So that is the mistake I have done it here. Hire date, here what we do is, for example, less than 1982 -12, for example, we will use 1982 09/28. Okay, we wanted to find out those employees we hired, just prior to this, right? Just prior to this date. If you want to see that, you can type it directly. But here, make sure that the hire date, you stored it in this. By default, it will store in the form of US date format, year hyphen month hyphen date. This is how you can query it. Got it? Or if you wanted to find out the hire date between, you have something called hire date between. Between 19, for example, between and operator. You'll be allowed to use something called between. Between is a reserved word, it's an operator, okay? For example, you want to do between 81 to and 1982 to look here, between so and so date. If your, let's say if your manager asks you, hey, I wanted to see the employees those hired between these two dates. So here the where class is helpful in terms of filtering the data, selecting the subset of the data. How many number of records were there in the employee table? 14 records were there in the employee table. Right? How many number of records were there? 14 records. Format, yes, we can change it. I'll discuss about this later. I think in the previous session we discussed in detail about that. Anyhow, I'll discuss one more time. Okay. Select star from emp where hire date between these two dates. So hire date is less than. The where class is helpful in terms of selecting the subset of the data. How many number of records? 14 records. I don't want to see all the 14 records. Okay. And I'm very particular about this one. Okay, those employees joined before this one, right? Before this date, I want to display this one. Yes. I want to see the employees, those joined between these two dates. Yes. Got it? So this is how you can use the date column also. Using the date column also, you can filter the data. So where class is helpful to select the portion of the data from your table. That is the whole idea. Portion of, not the entire. See, supposing you don't want to see the entire data, in real time, you're not supposed to select star, because if you have, in the real time, you have millions and millions of records. In that case, you cannot use it like this. Okay, select star, you're not supposed to use it. It is not a good practice. What you do is use some condition. Based on some condition, you filter the data in order to see the subset of the data. So got it, right? So okay, so and also we will see, okay, the next thing is we will find out the salary part. Okay, we will work on the salary part. Okay, we have something called the in operator. In and exist operators are available. Okay, and okay, so I want you to see, right? I want you to do some kind of group by. Group by, I will cover it little later. And what other queries we can use it here? So other query is something like I want you to I want you to select the salary, right? Select the salary. Okay, already we tried this, and those employees are getting higher salary. We have seen it, and also, let's say select star from EMP number, right? EMP number in select MGR from EMP. What is MGR from EMP here? Select manager from EMP. So what does this says here? Employee number in manager, right? So what does it says here? Can someone tell me? What does it says here? Let me see how many of you answered it. This MGR is nothing but manager IDs. Okay. So manager IDs, for example, if you want to see select star from EMP where MGR is equivalent to 7566. So the same thing, 7902, right? 756. See this guy, 756 is the manager ID, manager number. 756 is okay. He is under him. Two guys are reporting. Two employees are reporting under him. Right? Manager ID. So what does this query says? Jones. Jones is a manager. Look here, manager, right? Job is manager, and under Jones, two guys are reporting to him. We can see whoever is the manager. Very good, Arun Kumar. Excellent, right? We can see the manager for all the employees, right? So for these guys, right, they are the managers. We wanted to see the employee number, right, in the manager from EMP. What exactly it tells us? Manager ID is present in the same employee table. What do you mean by manager ID is present in the same table? No, it should be opposite, Shreyas. Employee number is also the manager number, and the employee number, right, is also same here, right? For example, this guy is 756. In the same table, we stored the employee number for the manager number also, right? 756 is nothing but is a manager. For him, he is reporting under 7839. Supposing you want to see 7839, he is reporting to President King. Who? Jones is reporting to King. Jones is a manager to these two guys, and Jones himself reporting under the president. His name is King. Now I want you to, but see, look here, for this interesting one, president, right, he is not reporting to anyone because he is the top guy. Who is top guy? King is the top guy. President, right? So president is not reporting to anyone, whereas, see, in this case, manager, look here, describe EMP table. Okay, manager column is there, it's not a unique key. Okay, let it be there. So president, so both the employee number as well as the manager number are stored in the same table, right? So you don't have to have a separate manager table like depart table. Okay, so both of them stored in the same table. With the help of the in operator, we are able to find out the corresponding manager for each employee here. Okay, manager number is a unique number. Yes, manager number is already available in the employee table. I'm confused. Manager ID already available in the employee table. Yes, you don't have to have a separate table, Jamal. That is a very simple one. Okay, so in the department, see, for the department number, right, we are referencing another table, but whereas here we are, so the employee number and manager number, right, we are storing the same table. That's all. We are storing the same table. But if you wanted to find out, which manager is, which employees are reporting to which manager, right? With this one, you are able to find out. Okay. And also, right, I want you to find out something like all the details of employees whose commission is more than their salary. There is a question here, right? Let's say your manager is asking, this is a business query, right? Or print all the employees whose salary is greater than their commission. Okay, whose salary is greater than their commission. How can you find out? Can you all send me the query in the chat window? We'll see. Let me see who sends first. All the employees whose salary is more than their commission. How will you find out? Very simple, right? Karthik, select star from commission. Select star from, there is no table called commission. Karthik, where class? Arun Kumar, right sir, okay. Where, yeah, Arun Kumar, select star from M, where salary is greater than commission. That's all, very simple, right? That's all. These guys look at the commission column. We have something called commission column. Salary is greater than, yeah, salary is greater than their commission, right? Okay, so does that mean right, less than commission? Salary, so what does it say? Select from M where salary is less than commission, right? So they are getting more commission than their salary. This guy is getting more commission than his salary, right? In this case, those people are getting more salary than their commission, right? And also you can see, is there any possibility salary and the commission are the same? Is there anyone getting the salary same as the commission? Equal sign, that's all. Very simple one, right? This is how you should start interact with the table using the queries. Try to think out of the box and come up with queries, right? Come up with the problem queries on your own and then start firing it against the table. And also we discussed about the wildcard everything, right? So wildcard, select select star from EMP where E name like percentage SMI, something like that. Okay, if I type this one percentage here, look here, Smith. So those employees name start with SMI and end with, so end with can be anything. Okay, percentage says, right, after this followed by the pattern, so the pattern is SMI followed by this percentage. If you give, this is mandatory. While it is searching the employee name, it will search by the employee's name whose name starts with SMI. Got it? Smith, in this case Smith. Okay, but if I start with percentage, right, it will get confused. That means end with this name. We don't have any employee's name end with SMI. So we have, let's say LEN. Let's say employee name end with LEN. So in that case you can use this one, percentage LEN. Alan, right? Alan, his name ends with LEN. So the employee name end with LEN. Employee name start with something. Okay, you can specify the, so this is kind of pattern matching. Okay, this is how you can subset the data or portion of the data. You can select it. Sometimes you might want to see those employees names start with this one and those product names start with so and so. Select all the products with this name, something like that. Okay, first 3 letters. So this is like we use like operator to select the data or select the records based on some search pattern. And also the this one, right, OR operator, select star from EMP where job is equivalent to clerk, right? So clerk or job is equivalent to analyst. We want to select only those employees, right, with this job or designation, clerk or analyst. So you can select where job equal to clerk itself, so that it will select only the clerk records. Okay, and I want to select both clerk and analyst. This is how we can do. Is there any other alternative queries we can use it to select clerk and analyst? How can you do this? I want you to come up with alternative queries. Try with this one. Let me see how many of you answer for it. Clerk or analyst, I want to select the employees whose job is clerk or analyst, but you are not supposed to use this. Already I use. Is there any other alternative queries are available? Type it in the chat window. Okay, here combination of these two. Okay, these two start with SM, end with TH. Right, start with SM. So percentage means start with SM but end with TH. You can put the condition also like this. Start with SM and end with TH. Okay. You can combine these two also, right? You can combine. See, SMI percentage. Sorry, this is the last name, right? So last thing you can also specify it. Start with SM. The employee's name should start with SM and end with TH. In between, whatever is there, let it be there. But I am interested in saying the pattern, something matching with this pattern. I want to select the employee name. Okay. Anyhow, I will send you some more assignments. You start practice it. So that especially freshers, you can and also you have not operator, right? So for example, job, I want to display I want to display all the employees, but not the manager. Okay, I don't want to see the manager. I want to print all the employees name except those employees are manager. These guys are not manager. Can you see in the job column manager? Yeah, not equal to manager, right? So sorry, manager. See, that's what. Look here. I made a typing mistake here, right? Manager. Since I made a mistake here, it included manager also. Make sure that you are not making any typing mistake, right? And also, can I type it like a manager? Is it case sensitive? It is not case sensitive. Good. SQL is not a case sensitive. You can type any value, but make sure that you are not making any typing mistake here. Not equal to. I want to print all the employees except the manager. Those employees are manager. Fine. And similarly, you can filter the department number also. I want to view only the employees belong to 20 and 30, right? So you can say not equal to. I think the not equal to this operator also works. I think so. No, this will not work. Sorry, not equal to. Yeah, instead of using the double, look here. Eleven rows, 11. Both of them are same, but both operators are same. So usually people use this one in some languages. Some language they use this one, but in MySQL both the operators are available. But both operators are same. So not equivalent to. right? So not equal. And also you can find out, right, based on the year. For example, that when it comes to select star from M, where we have something called 2char. 2char of, I don't know, in 2char will work in this one, higher date, comma y. So I want to select only the, for example, 19, we have seen 1982, right? Yeah, 2char does not exist. Here I think a year is there, I think year of this one. Okay, what we will do is select year of higher date. Okay, formatting is not required from EMP here, right? So what we will do is, here YY format is not required, and year equal to 1980. So we want to see based on the year. Okay, so this is how you can extract year. And if you want to extract month also, right, you can use month here. Month equivalent to, I want to see the employees whom we hired in December month. How many number of employees we hired in December month. So also you can specify, okay, and a month of, year of, you can say year of higher date is equivalent to 1981, right, or 1982. So in year 1981, December month, we hired 2 employees. So month function extract only the month portion of your date part, and the year function will extract only the year part from your this thing. Okay, and I have asked you this one, is there any way we can select the employees who work as part of or I want to select the employees who are clerk and analyst, only clerk and analyst. How can you do that? How can you? But don't use the same thing, okay, the logic which I used it. Is there any other thing that you can use it? Which logic I used it? Select star from emp, where emp number in parenthesis select star from this one, right, manager or something, I used it. So apart from this, is there any other logic which we can use it here to select this one? All I want you to select those employees, job is clerk and analyst only. How can you do that? Look here, which command that you use? Press up arrow. Always use up arrow to get the previous command which you typed it. Where emp number in say manager from emp, right? This is the one. And in operator, I have used the in operator here. And here emp number. Okay, so instead of this, I want to select all the employees, and in employee number. Okay, in operator. Are they same? With in operator, inside the parenthesis, you just specify the job with the employees with the specific job alone. Okay, those employees are clerk and analyst only. I want to select it. Fine. Or you can use or operator here, where job equal to clerk or job equal to analyst. These two queries. Likewise, you can write a single query into different way also. But end of the day, which query executes faster? That is what matters. That is where the performance tuning comes into picture. We have something called execution plan. Using the execution plan, you can find out which query is performing well. See, the output for the output for both the queries are same. Am I correct? But of these two queries, which one is faster? Which one will be faster? How will you find out that? How will you find out which query runs faster? So here you can see how many number of seconds it took to display this one, fine. But in this case, oddly we have 8 records, 10 records. But if you have millions of records, let's say in this table we have 5 million records are there. When I use these two queries, which query will be faster? So we have something called execution plan. Okay, execution plan, we will discuss it later time. First I want you to be familiar with writing the queries. Okay, writing the queries, and also we'll discuss about the subquery, everything. What is the difference between subquery and correlated query? Can someone tell me? What is the difference between subquery and correlated query? Or correlated query and non-correlated query. What does that say? First of all, tell me what is a subquery. What is correlated subquery and non-correlated? As the name suggests, the correlated subquery. Let's say you have a query with a subquery. Okay, so in that case, the subquery is your inner query, right? Outside the subquery, whatever you have, that is your outer query. So anyhow, we'll discuss about the correlated subquery and non-correlated subquery. Okay, nested query also called as. Okay, so my question is, yes, nested query, we can call the nested query also. Okay, so Yashaswini is an employee name as E, where E job and analyst. Yeah, this is another way of selecting it. Yeah, very good. So she gave some. Look here, there are another alternative to this one, right? Instead of or, we can use and. Either this or that. No, and how can you say select team pinum where? Okay. See, right? Okay, Basavaraji gave me another thing. Where job is. Okay, where? Okay, let me do one thing. Where? So how can you use and here, right? If you employ where job equivalent to clerk and the job will record. See, that means both the conditions should be true, right? When you use and operator. Okay, what he says is clerk, job equal to clerk, pipeline. These are also, right? This is another way of doing it. This is another way of doing it. Very good, excellent, right? And you can use or operator. Yeah, and cannot be used because the employee cannot work in two jobs. That is correct. And this in operator. Fine. So 6 rows. Look here. Okay. What is the difference between these two here? Look here. The clerk or analyst, right? What does this say? Pipelines. Because here the number of rows are not same. Look here. We want to display clerk or analyst, right? But here it takes only the clerk here. It's not printing both. What is the objective of this one? Basavaraj, you typed it this one, right? Oh, okay. Here, let me see if I leave this one. It says the same. Right? Only one it will take, sir, either clerk or analyst, Charita, right? So only one it will take, but it takes only the first one, right? It takes only the clerk. For example, if I use analyst here, it takes only the analyst. The first one only it takes, right? It is ignoring the second part. right? Either clerk or analyst. See, when you use or, right, or what I need is I want to select all the employees whose job is clerk or analyst, right? Those employees are clerk and analyst. I want their name to be displayed. But this is the one, when you use this one, right, it selects only the first one, the clerk. It is same as this one. For example, I don't want to have this one, analyst alone. If I give like this, same as this one, right? It is not considering the rest of the thing, okay? So 3 different ways you can use it. That is where the explain plan, everything comes into picture. In the interview, if you say explain plan, any of the query tuning and all DBS job, okay? We can tell that we are not a database administrator. We know what is execution plan. Using execution plan, we can understand how this query access the data, whether it does the full table scan or does it require index or something like that. If you have index on this column, the search will be much faster. But again, you have index on job column, but you are using in operator, and also you are using the or operator, right? So in operator, or operator, and what is the other one? Other one was the only 2 way we can, in this way, right? So this one and in operator, and this one only, only these 2 way you can select the employees with these 2 designation. Of these 2, which one is right? So we did the tuning, everything with the help of those guys, okay? The database administrator. Some extent you should know at least what is execution plan. Execution plan tells you how your queries are accessing the data. It is something like the Google map. Whether you are let's say from the source to, let's say you are to reach to a destination from your house, you have multiple routes are available. Which route helps you to reach your destination faster? That is the optimal one. Same way, the execution plan tells you, helps you to understand of the given 2 queries, which query access the data and fetches the data in a much faster way. You can find out. And also it will show whether it uses index or not, something like that, okay? Fine. What we will do is we will continue tomorrow with the advanced part of the queries, okay? Intermediate advanced part of the queries. See, this is the table I discussed in the last session, okay? And again, we are not going to start everything from the beginning, right? So we are directly jumping into the advanced part tomorrow. So for this, you need to go to my website, this one. You will find some dn.sql. Or you can do it now also. dn.sql, right? What you do is you just select this one. Yeah, Sarita, okay, good. Right, so anyhow, we will start, create table everything tomorrow obviously, because you will run into error and all, right? It will take more time. It's already 11. What we will do is we will continue this part tomorrow night, okay? Don't miss out tomorrow's session. Tomorrow is very important session, okay? We will start, come up with various business queries, and also you will be learning how to do aggregation, what is group by, how does the group by works, everything will work, and also having clause. What is the difference between having clause and where clause? Though it's all basic thing for you all, right? We'll discuss in detail tomorrow for the benefit of all. Okay, good night. Take care. In case of any questions, we will discuss it tomorrow, early tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Good night. Take care.